Welcome to episode 7 of the Elevation Room podcast. We're back in the building. We're feeling good. Today's episode, since it's November and it's actually Men's Mental Health Month, we're going to be having questions revolving around men's mental health. So we're very excited to dive into these questions. We got about 11 questions that we're going to be tackling today. And, we tried our best to make them versatile, so we're not only touching on one topic. We're kind of going all over the place under the umbrella. But all I can say is, it's Monday morning. What a way to start the week, filming a podcast with the boys. We're going to get this shit out tonight. And this is what I love doing. So that's exactly why we're doing it. But before we dive into the questions, let's just see how the boys are doing this past week. And then we'll get to it. So what have you boys been up to?
How you feeling, Mo?
Honestly, I'm feeling pretty good. We're coming towards the end of the year. Preparing, honestly, for the next year, but obviously still focused on 2025. But overall, I'm feeling good. I've got a little bit of a new renewal of motivation to just grind and attack. 2026 is coming up, so I'm ready for that. What about you guys?
I'm chilling, man. Same old me. Working, school, just podcast, obviously. And just absolutely blessed to be able to have another good conversation with these boys today. Looking forward to it. Excited for it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Less than 50 days left in 2025. This is usually a time of the year where most people take their foot off the gas. For us, there's no such thing as taking our foot off the gas. So we're continuing to film podcast episodes every single week, continuing to get clips out every single day. Like we said last episode, our goal by January 1st, 2026 is to have 350 clips posted on our social media platforms. Right now, I believe we're around 180, so we got about 170 more clips to go in less than 50 days. We're going to keep grinding on that. And other than that, going into 2026 is the best version of ourselves. So I'm still in the gym every single day. Stairmaster Challenge is still going strong, like we talked about in previous episodes. I'm currently on day 28 today.
Yes, sir.
Morgan, you're on day 29?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, we're going on the Stairmaster every single day for 30 minutes a day for 100 days straight. So we're almost at day 30. And honestly, I've been feeling so good since the challenge has started. Just getting a nice little sweat every single day.
Yeah.
And having the aspect of a challenge of doing it every single day, it makes it so you can't really miss a day.
You can't. Especially
when I'm going head-to-head with my boy, we also have a gentleman's bet. If one of us fails the challenge, we have to send the other man $150. But, I know deep down that I'm not going to fail, and I know he's not going to fail too.
No chance.
We're just two guys trying to better each other, so that's exactly what we're doing.
Iron sharpens iron.
Exactly. But yeah, Monday morning, getting this podcast out of the way. This is one of my favorite parts of the week, so what a way to start the week.
Yeah, me too. It's honestly, favorite part of the week, just meeting up with these guys and filming the episode. It's a lot of fun, and we have a lot of fun doing it too. And I just want to say one quick thing. This past 2025 has been the best year of my entire life. I don't know if you guys can say the same, but I've definitely achieved a lot of the goals that I set out for myself. But like Nate said, we're going to come into 2026 firing already. So the year has no chance to be a bad year. We're going to go in, and it's going to be the best year of our lives, 100%.
For sure.
Yeah. And also, I haven't actually gave you guys an update yet, but still sober, going strong. I don't know which episode it was, but I committed to sobriety about a month ago. And, I've been sober ever since, going sober till the end of the year. That was my goal. And I'm going strong, and I'm going to hit that goal. And I was just talking to these boys before this episode because I was saying, take in probably 99% of the people, they wake up the first day of the year, New Year's Day. They wake up hungover. They wake up feeling like crap. They wake up throwing up, vomiting. You know what I mean? And I'm so excited for New Year's this year because, the first day of 2026, I'm going to wake up feeling great. I'm going to wake up and straight to it, straight getting after it. So it's going to be a good start to the year, and I'm so excited for this. Less than 50 days, and we just got to keep our foot on the gas, keep going, keep grinding.
Yeah.
You guys are going to see a lot more of us. So if you guys are annoyed by us, too bad. We're going to be everywhere soon, so I apologize in advance.
Get used to our faces. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, guys, anything else to talk about before we get into these questions, or?
Let's dive in.
Yeah, no, we're starting off the new year pissed off, just like Nate said before the podcast. We're coming in with vengeance this year.
100%. You got to get pissed off, and even though I seem like I'm in a jolly mood right now, I'm filming a podcast with my two best friends, like at the end of the day, I'm pissed off. Like I have a lot of people that I got to prove wrong, and I also got to prove myself right. So you just got to wake up every single morning pissed off, ready to attack the day. Here we are Monday morning. We're ready to attack this podcast. We're about to go crazy, get this out later today. And yeah, you guys will see the clips all week long. So we're ready to go. We're fired up.
Let's do it, boys.
And
I'm hype.
You know, what a privilege it is. So let's dive straight into these questions. Like I said, November is Men's Mental Health Month, and men's mental health is a very important thing to talk about because a lot of men stay silent. So with this podcast, we want to be totally open to every topic of discussion. We're not afraid to dive into controversy as well. So that's why, you know, it's November. It's only right that we do an episode on men's mental health. Because you don't see a lot of 20-year-old men talking about men's mental health, let alone on a podcast so everyone in the world can see. So hopefully if you're going through something, this episode may be able to help you and reflect on some things that are going on in your life. But anyways, episode 7 of the Elevation Room, men's mental health episode. Let's dive straight into these questions. Bet.
Let's do it, boys.
All right. So question number 1. Why is there so many young men dealing with mental health issues nowadays?
I think it has a lot to do with like social media and just overall pressure for young men. I mean, there's always been pressure on men to like do good and, you know, provide, but I feel like now with like the way expectations kind of raise in terms of success, that a lot of men kind of feel like behind or like that they're not doing enough because of what they see on social media or just in general. Like you just want to do good for yourself when you see like other people doing better than you or just overall look happier, you know, it makes you feel like bad. Like, am I doing something wrong or like what's going on? So I feel like that's a big part of it.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think social media has taken like a big toll on men's mental health because the standard it's setting for people, and like us watching all these successful people on the internet, like I'm just speaking from personal experience, it's kind of made me think like I'm not doing enough or I haven't achieved enough yet. So it's set the bar so high for men to try and reach. And yeah, that's that. I think social media has played a huge role on men's mental health. And I think that's probably one of the main reasons, at least from my personal experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think the reason why there's so many young men dealing with mental health issues is because of all the distractions that there are out there that are negatively affecting young men's lives. Social media being one of them, right? Social media has so many different aspects to it that can affect your life in a negative way. You know, the first thing is lust. You know, if you're on Instagram, you're looking at OnlyFans girls, it's going to lead to you having a pornography addiction. If you're doom scrolling, it's going to lead to you losing your attention span, and that's why you can't enjoy simple things in your life, such as a dinner with your family. And if you're comparing yourself to people online, then it's only going to, you know, make you feel worse about yourself. So social media is a huge contributor to why young men nowadays have declining mental health, because this is something that our parents didn't grow up with, right? Mm-hmm. So this is a new challenge and a new thing that we have to face as young men and the generations coming after us. And I think it's just so fresh that people don't really know how to deal with it, and they don't really know how to cope with the fact that these things are seriously dangerous for us. But I think a discussion is a good thing because it can help spread awareness about the issues that are going on online. So that's what I'd say one of the biggest issues is, for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. And as like a relatively young person, like I've never really like been really educated on social media. Like you said, like it's not a very brought up topic with young men and stuff like that. And it is very serious. But I think like I'm not very educated on it, and like I want to, hopefully this conversation will inspire me more and teach me more about it, because I honestly really don't think too much about mental health like right now, but it's obviously a very important topic that a lot of people face.
And I think another thing that's just causing young men to have mental health issues revolving around social media is young men are using social media as a way to escape, right? Them going on their phone, laying on the couch and doom scrolling for 2 hours, that's pretty much numbing their brain so they don't have to think about any of the issues that are going on in their life, and they don't have to confront them. Yeah. And that's something that's horrible for you, because if you're not directly confronting these issues in your life, they're still there. You're just forgetting about them in the moment when you're doom scrolling, right? So I think it just comes down to knowing yourself and knowing, what helps you confront issues in your life. If you're feeling stressed or anxious about something, instead of doom scrolling, maybe going to the gym and exerting yourself in the gym, pushing yourself will help you relieve some of that stress. But besides the fact of social media, I mean, there's so much other factors in young men's lives nowadays that contribute to the mental health crisis that's going on right now. And I do definitely think social media is a focal point of these issues because not only online, but in the real world, it also causes issues, right? But like, if you're chronically online, you're chronically looking at these OnlyFans girls online, you're not able to talk to a real woman in real life. You know what I mean? Because you're so used to seeing them online and you have a pornography addiction. And then when it comes to you actually speaking to a real woman, you can't do it because you have anxiety. And
then on top of that too, like all you can think about is like lustful things. Like it's not even like a conversation,
Exactly, yeah.
Like it,
and your expectations about what an actual woman is totally distorted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because maybe if you're addicted to porn, you're watching some crazy stuff on there and it just totally ruins your perception of like what a real woman is.
Yeah. And it really like takes over your mind too, I feel like if you're just like looking at people like on the street, like you kind of have such an inaccurate perception of like, because you've been exposed to so much pornography and stuff like that. If you have that addiction, like it's hard to like really shape like a opinion on like how women are nowadays and stuff like that.
Yeah. And if I were to bring up a point, not revolving around social media, of why mental health crisis is so strong in the young men nowadays, I mean, if you look at the things that are normalized, these are totally contributing to the reason why young men are having issues nowadays, right? Like going out and drinking every single weekend, that's something that's normalized nowadays. Do you really think that's good for your mental health? No, but every single young 20-year-old man is going out and drinking every single weekend. Eating horrible foods on a daily basis, fast food, processed foods. This is something that every single young man is doing on a daily basis. They're going to McDonald's. They're going and, eating a horrible diet every single day. And do you think that's going to make you feel better? Absolutely not. But that is so normalized in today's day and age. So I think the things that have become normalized in today's day and age are really just breaking men from the inside.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's cool to go and sleep with a bunch of girls every single week. That's really just breaking you as a man. You know what I mean? You're going to get no fulfillment out of that. And these are all things that are normalized in the 20-year-old's life nowadays. Oh, go out, drink every single weekend. Oh, go out, sleep with a bunch of girls every single week. Oh, let's go like grab some fast food. You know what I mean? Like these things are not going to help you as a man. And that's the reason why mental health is declining in today's day and age.
And then also too, what doesn't help with that too, like the drinking, eating unhealthy, the reason why it's normalized, it doesn't help at all with this is that then, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I was gonna say like when people like normalize drinking and say like it's a good thing, like why aren't you drinking? Like then that adds even more mental health issues because it's like if you want to do the right thing, people are like clowning you for it. It's like why are you not drinking or like why are you not eating? It's like bro, this guy's eating a salad or like
Yeah.
like if you're not following like the social norms, like you get clowned for it.
Yeah, I would say as a young man today, it's harder to be sober than it is to drink consistently because everyone around you is drinking. So if you're not drinking, you're seen as the weird one. You're seen as the odd one out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Men are faced with so much peer pressure nowadays too, like just by like their friend groups and the people who they're surrounded by. Like to say, for example, drink, like go out with their friends, everyone's drinking. It just kind of feels normal to do it. But I think like, it definitely has a lot of long-term effects on people for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, that's why I think having this platform in general is so important because it can show other young men that it's okay not to drink every single weekend. It's okay not to chase lust. It's okay not to be chronically online. And, obviously we all deal with these issues. We're not perfect. However, we're trying to constantly get away from these things. And like I said at the start of the episode, like probably 99% of young men are going to be going into the new year, waking up hungover, waking up feeling like crap, having a bad start to the year. And 99% of people are going to be doing that which means it's such a normal thing. But yeah, this podcast, we just want to show you guys that it's okay to not do these things. Me, I'm going to wake up feeling great first day of 2026 because I'm sober right now. And it's totally normal and it's totally fine for you to do that as a young man. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Cool. You guys want to move on to the next question?
Yeah, sure. I got a question. I got question number 2 right here.
Cool. Let's do it.
All right. So why is loneliness the new norm for young men nowadays? Yeah, what do you guys have to say about that?
Honestly, I think loneliness is the new norm because, like we said with question 1, like people feel like they get clowned for doing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? Like if you drink, if you eat unhealthy, if you're not watching porn, whatever it may be, you get clowned for it. So I feel like people they've lost the sense or the urge or the feeling to open up about things. Like it's better if you just keep it within than to share about it. I don't know. That's just kind of what I think.
I think like a really big thing about why men are so lonely nowadays is because the constant pressure to grind and the constant pressure to be very successful, it causes like a very lonely atmosphere for a man because they're pushed so hard to just work your ass off to achieve goals and just work hard and be successful. And it becomes very lonely because everyone's got their own aspirations. So everyone's going to be going down their own path. And that leads to eventual like loneliness, right? Because you're going to be working hard for yourself. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. Everyone at the end of the day, whether you're a guy that has big ambitions for himself or even a guy that wants to live a normal life, we all have aspirations and dreams for ourselves. And if you're living the normalized lifestyle of going out every single weekend drinking and hanging around people that aren't benefiting you, it can definitely get lonely because you're just hanging out with them because it's normal, because, oh, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go to the bars every weekend. You're supposed to chase lust. And I feel like that can be lonely for a lot of young men. Even though you're surrounded by a group, if you're not surrounded by the right group, you're going to feel lonely. Yeah. And I mean, I'm so blessed to have, a brotherhood where we all chase our goals and we build things together. But I feel like for most young men, that's not the case.
Honestly, like I just want to jump in and say one thing. I don't think loneliness is a bad thing though, necessarily. I think it's a good thing for a man to learn about himself and spend time alone. I think that's very important as a young man to like really figure out yourself. And I don't think loneliness is a bad thing at all. What do you guys think about that?
I think you need time alone. Like if you're always stimulated by somebody else or your phone or whatever, you just can't sit in silence and like do nothing. Like you can't like just think to yourself or whatever. Like I feel like that's not a good thing at all. You're always going to be stimulated. Like even for me in the steam room, like after my workouts, like I'll just go in there just so I can like, I'm not on my phone. Like I'm not doing nothing. I'm just in the steam room, just like thinking to myself. Like if you don't have time to have like thoughts with yourself, I feel like that's not a good thing at all. Like, I don't know. It's not a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, alone time is essential for a man, I'd say. And me personally, like I'm very protective over my alone time. Like I make sure to prioritize that I have that time alone to reflect on things because that's when I really have the best opinions on things and I can really look inward and learn the most about myself when I'm alone. And I think it's a great thing to be alone. And it's a great thing to be independent and not, be codependent on other people. But I also think the bad aspect of it is young men being lonely. Like, nowadays, I don't know what the percentages are, but like young men aren't getting into relationships nowadays. Young men are scared to put themselves out there and meet new people nowadays. And I think a big contributing factor to this is social media, like we already talked about, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's a horrible thing. I think as a young man, you should be meeting as many people as you possibly can, getting into these relationships and learning about yourself, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, no, I think you kind of changed my opinion. Like I said, loneliness is good. I think alone time is good. I think loneliness isn't the best, but I think alone time is essential because it causes you to form your own opinions as well. Like instead of all these outside factors kind of like developing your like outside opinions, like you can kind of form your own opinions by yourself and you can just kind of see what's true to you and stuff. But I think alone time's essential, but loneliness is a problem, I think.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that because relationships are so important. Like, and it's so detrimental to like your success as a young man. Like if we didn't have this brotherhood, we wouldn't have been able to start this podcast and get out of our comfort zone and build something that's bigger than ourselves. And, you know, if you're not getting into relationships, you're not talking to girls as a young man, as you should be, then clearly there's an issue with society, and there definitely is. And yeah, alone time is amazing because it helps you reflect on what you really want out of life. Like, some of the moments that I cherish most in my life are moments where I'm alone, moments where I go to the gym late at night and have a nice late night workout, phone on do not disturb. I don't have to worry about anyone. And it's just me, my music, and my thoughts. And those are some of the most therapeutic moments in my life, when I'm alone in the gym late at night. And even becoming an independent man, you know, when I went and solo traveled across Europe this past summer, that's the most I've ever learned about myself in that period of time, when I was going from country to country, just all on my own, because you realize that it's really you versus the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're just going to sit at home and not do anything and not get out of your comfort zone, then you're going to go nowhere. And it shows to you that you have to take steps and take risks in your life if you truly want to become successful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think loneliness is not a good thing as a man. If you feel lonely all the time, if you don't have good relationships, you really got to fix that seriously. But alone time is essential for the development as a man, I'd say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I definitely agree. Yeah.
And yeah, Nate, the reason why it was so good for you being alone and traveling Europe by yourself is because you had no one else's opinion on what to do, like how to enjoy yourself, all that. And I feel like a lot of men, not even with traveling, but just in general, like that's taken away from them from social media. Because think about it, social media, like you're always looking at someone else's opinion, their opinion on you, and it just completely ruins that for like a lot of people. Like you're always worried about someone else's opinion on social media, and then I feel like that's also the reason why men, like you said, are not like getting in relationships or even just approaching people in general. You know, because you have that factor or that fear of like being judged. Because you're like, on social media, I get judged. Maybe this guy might judge me in person, and then it just completely just destroys like your perception on approaching people, men or women.
Yeah. Just one more quick thing. I also learned about something in school. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was called something called group think. And it's where you're in a group setting, you're in like a team, and it's impossible to advocate your own opinion because the group has already formed an opinion. So it's kind of like you're agreeing to something you don't necessarily agree with because the mutual agreement is something else.
Yeah.
And like I think that happens to a lot of people if they're in a big friend group. They can't advocate their personal opinions because they're so infiltrated by the mass group opinion already. Like I think that plays a big factor on like a young man's mind for sure.
And that's why it's so important to have real good relationships and good friends, because a good friend is going to speak out when...
Or like they're going to feel comfortable enough to speak out like in a group setting.
If you're doing something wrong, then a good friend is going to speak out and check you on that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's so important to like strengthen and build your relationships, whether it's with your boys, whether it's with your girlfriend, whether it's with your family. Like relationships are such an important thing and such a detrimental thing to men's mental health, right? If you don't have good relationships with your family, if you can't go out with your friends and have a laugh and pass time, if you can't love your girlfriend and have a good time with your girlfriend, then you're going to be lonely as a man, I'd say.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, yeah, I'll leave it at that. I don't know if you guys want to touch up on that anymore, but
I'm good on that.
I'm good too.
sure, let's move on to the next question.
Bet.
You got the next question, Mo?
Think so.
Let's go.
Number 4?
Number 3.
Number 3?
Yeah.
Can you read it number 3?
What's something...
You guys,
Yeah. Okay, I have the wrong number here. Okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
Number 3. What's something you thought would make you happy by 21 but hasn't made you happy? Or maybe it brought a different type of happiness or whatever. What do you guys think?
Man, I think as a kid, you know, when I was like 13 years old, 14 years old in middle school, I constantly just wanted to grow up. I constantly wanted to be, you know, the 21-year-old man that I am today. And I remember like even as kids talking, they're like, what do you guys think the best age will be? And I remember being in middle school, elementary school, saying like, I think the best age is going to be when I'm 21 years old because you can do anything pretty much. You're free. And while it's such a blessing to be 21 years old, you know, being young, healthy, happy, it's also it's also, I wouldn't say a good thing, because when you're younger, you're always wishing that you're older. But once you get older, you wish that you were younger, right? And I'm not saying that I wish I can go back in time and be in middle school again, but we all know that like those middle school days, those were genuinely the good old days. The childhood was the good old days. That's like the best part of most people's lives, I'd say. And for me, that was definitely the case. And yeah, I think just the aspect of growing older and doing what I want to do whenever, that was something that I was looking forward to as a young kid. And now that I'm here, it's great. It's amazing. I'm blessed. But also, like, I'm looking back and, like, missing those days now. So it's, like, it's hard to say, man. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. Like, back in the day when I was younger, I used to always dream about getting older and growing up and just dreaming about, like, the freedom that I had. Because I would see my parents, like, they could do whatever they wanted, didn't have to go to school. I would always just really be excited for those days. But now that I'm in these days, it comes with so much more responsibility than you understand as a kid. You have to really make shit happen when you get older. You have to work. You have to provide for yourself. This is the time in your life where you really have to execute and set yourself up for success in the future. And I didn't understand that being older came with so much more responsibility than I understood as a kid. But what do you guys think?
Honestly, for me, when I was younger, what I really was looking forward to when I was older was just being able to, like, just have money to buy, like, whatever I wanted. Like, for example, like, in middle school, like, oh, like, I want to buy this skin or, like, whatever. Like, I'd have to ask my parents, right? But as I got older, I realized, like, I don't know, like, it didn't feel as good as I thought it would be. You know, I still feel good when I buy myself stuff, but I feel like when I was younger, I thought it would be so much more sweeter. Like, not saying it's not sweet, but it's not as sweet as I thought. And then another thing, too, is, like, when I was younger, like, I don't know, like, I just thought, like, the aspect of, like, women. I'm like, yo, like, I'm so excited, like, for when I'm older, like, to, you know, have a girlfriend, you know, first kiss, whatever it may be. But I feel like as I got older, I realized, like, even that's not that serious. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just neutral on it. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like, as a kid, you dream of all these materialistic things, right?
Yeah.
Having your own money so you can buy whatever you want. And as a man that's, spent quite a bit of money on materialistic things, I can say that it doesn't make you happy. It gives you a quick dopamine hit in the moment.
Yeah.
But, you could buy an expensive outfit or whatever. You'll feel good in the moment, but the next day you'll just forget about it.
Exactly.
And you're back to all the problems that you have in your life. So I can totally agree with that. As a kid, I was like, oh, I can't wait to buy all these things when I'm, grown up. But now as a man, I realize that materialism won't get you happiness as a man. What will truly get you happiness is focusing on your purpose and improving on things every single day,
Facts.
I remember I had like a thought in my mind when I was like in elementary school. I was like, I can't wait till I'm an adult so I can like walk across the street and just buy whatever candy or food that I want and just enjoy it. Because when you're a kid, your parents only get you candies and treats every once in a while, right?
Yeah.
So when you get those candies and treats, you're so happy and you feel so good. But I was like, oh, I can't wait till I'm an adult. I'm going to go get candy and treats every single day from the store.
Yeah.
But now when you're an adult, you realize that that's not how things work, right? If you're constantly just feeding your dopamine system with cheap dopamine, then you're not going to be happy overall.
Yeah.
So chasing that delayed gratification is the key, I'd say.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think the one thing I was the most excited for as a kid for growing up was just to be done with school. Like, I really didn't like school when I was younger. Like, I thought school was the worst. Like, I'm like, yo, I just want to be able to work. Like, I think working is so much better than school. But little do I know, school's so much better than work. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
We talked about that last episode. Like I hated school as a kid, and I was like, I can't wait till I'm graduated, done school. But once you get into the real world, you realize that school was the easy days.
It was fun. Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to the class. You see your boys every single day. You got pretty much no responsibility.
Nobody like relying on you for anything. All you have to do is just go learn and go to school and have fun. That's it.
Yeah, but when you're in the real world, you have to survive for yourself, and there's so much more added stress on top of that because there's so many metrics of your life that you have to pretty much succeed in, right? You got to have financial stability. You got to be fit and healthy. You got to worry about relationships. You got to worry about paying bills. You got to worry about your career, all that kind of stuff. All these things add up and just cause more stress in your life. And when you're in school, there's none of that stress. All you have to worry about is showing up to school and then
Doing homework once in a while.
yeah, and then
playing
you gotta
video games after school.
yeah, worry about like who's gonna get left out of the Fortnite squad later that night. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
But like most times we knew who was getting left out because some mans were just trash. But you know what I mean?
For real.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I'll touch up on about that question.
Yeah, that was good.
You guys want to move on to the next?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
I got the next one.
Oh, I have the next one.
Oh, you got
Question
it?
5? Yeah, yeah. Okay.
No, actually,
Four.
I actually have it. Yeah, it's 4. We're at 4.
Oh, we're at 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, why do so many men get their self-worth? Sorry. Why do so many men get their self-worth from women? Why do so many men chase lust? Why do you think that?
It's a tough question, man,
Tough.
honestly.
But honestly, like personally speaking, I feel like a lot of men chase lust or they get their validation from women because it's like a form of dopamine, right? But also too, it gives you that validation from like a different human. You know what I mean? Like I feel like if you're able to get like that far with a woman, like it makes you like feel good about yourself, right? Like, oh, I was able to kiss her, hook up with her, like whatever, have sex with her, whatever you did. And I feel like it gives people like a sense of like validation, like, oh, I was able to do that. And she's good looking, you know? So it just gives you that sense of validation. But yeah, overall, I feel like it's like a lower, like it's a cheaper like dopamine, like if you're always chasing after that only. But at the end of the day, it is dopamine. So that's why people, you know, might leech towards that. I don't know.
I completely agree with that. I know some people in my life now that literally make chasing women a full-time job. Like they like are just constantly chasing women. Like it's kind of ridiculous to me because I've never been that type of guy to do that. And I never really understood why they did that too. But it must just be insecurity maybe. I'm not really too sure. I know it just builds confidence in people like, oh yeah, like I went on a date with this girl. And then they'll brag to their friends about it. And they probably just feel good about themselves. They feel confident that they were able to go on a date with this pretty girl. But I never really understood why men were so interested in like why they were so like chasing women like that. I never really understood, but what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason why men chase lust is because they're trying to fill a void that they have in their heart. And, you know, there could be a million reasons why a man is chasing lust, whether he didn't get enough attention from his mother as a child, or he was insecure and bullied his whole life, or, you know, he never got attention from girls in his life. So now he's just trying to sleep with low-value girls to make up for that attention. But I mean, speaking from my own experience, the reason I think men chase lust is because I think in a toxic way, in a normalized way, you know, if you're seen sleeping with a bunch of girls, you're seen as the cool guy. You're seen as the cool guy in school, right? So like when I was in high school, I was trying to like become that cool guy, I guess, and I was just chasing lust. But in reality, like I wasn't happy at all. Like I was wake up the next morning feeling horrible about myself and feeling like very unfulfilled. So I think by men chasing lust, they're just trying to compensate for a missing piece that they have in their life. They don't love themselves, so they're seeking this validation from other people.
For sure.
And they're doing that from lust. So
Yeah.
I think it definitely roots from insecurity.
For sure.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I never really like understood that, to be honest, but like I've seen people around me do it, and I couldn't wrap my head around it. I'm like, what's the point of this? I would ask them, and they would say it's just, oh, like I gotta snap these girls. I'm like, why? And they can't answer the question. Like it must just be from insecurity. That's it.
Yeah.
For sure, it's from insecurity because they're not fully secure with themselves. So they got to chase all these girls and hook up with all these girls because they think it will make them cool, or they think it will make them gain more respect. And maybe in high school, when we're immature, that guy would get more respect. But now as grown men, we realize that if you're constantly chasing women every single week, you're just a loser.
Yeah, it's low value at the end of the day.
You're very low value if you're just giving yourself up to any woman on the street. And a real high value man, a real strong man is gonna, you know, find find a good woman and stick with that woman and build a relationship with that woman. You know what I mean? Instead of smashing different girls every single week, I'd say.
Yeah, and just building themselves up and being able to respect themselves instead of just falling for the trap of lust. And I think the trap of lust is a very, very bad thing that a man can fall down.
Yeah.
It's dangerous for sure. Yeah.
I've always thought this, but I think lust is probably the man's biggest downfall.
I think
For
so
sure,
too.
yeah.
Right? Like 10 seconds of lust can ruin, 10 years of a marriage. You know what I mean?
For real, man. Honestly.
It can ruin relationships. It can ruin connections. It can ruin reputations. You know what I mean? I think lust is a man's biggest downfall.
For sure.
And we've seen so many scenarios. I mean, if you think about it recently, look at the two CEOs at the Coldplay concert. They were caught cheating on the Jumbotron. Those two CEOs then lost their reputations. They lost respect from their families. They lost their significant others. And
They even lost their positions at work too.
yeah, they lost their jobs, right?
Yeah.
And that all came from lust.
Yeah, like all for what? Looking back, they're probably like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
that was so dumb.
Like just for like dancing with a girl at a
Yeah,
Coldplay concert,
yeah.
you lost everything.
yeah, like 1 hour of like feeling good, like when you literally have a partner. That's what makes it even worse,
Yeah. That's definitely lust is the man's biggest downfall.
sure.
Like a man he'll risk 10 seconds of pleasure for 10 years of joy.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy to me how people can sacrifice their entire their entire just like life just for that 10 seconds of lust.
Yeah. And it's really, the things you see on social media, the things you see other young men doing at our age that are contributing to you wanting to chase this lust, right? You're looking at these OnlyFans girls, you see the guys around you hooking up with a bunch of chicks. It makes you want to dive into that, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, a strong man is going to respect himself enough to not chase a bunch of random women and build a solid relationship with just one woman so you can have a family. Because at the end of the day, that's the reason why us as human beings were put on this earth. We're put on this earth to procreate,
Yeah.
to have families. And if you're just going around sleeping with a bunch of random women and doing all this BS, like you're not doing what you're put on this earth for. We're animals at the end of the day. And really the only reason we're here is to create more of us. So that's what I'd say.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Cool. You guys want to move to the next?
Let's do it.
Cool. Ollie, you got the next question here.
All right. Question 5. This is a heavy hitter question. You guys ready for it?
Spit it out.
Do you think depression can be naturally cured or does it require medicine?
Honestly, to me, this isn't even like a hard question to answer. Like, obviously, there's people on social media or people that will view this podcast that will have a completely like 180 view of what I'm about to say. But in all honesty, I think that it can be naturally cured, like easily. Let's say that, I lose my girlfriend or, my God forbid, knock on wood, my mom or dad passed away, right? Obviously, I'd be in a bad mental state. I'd be sad, I'd be upset, I'd be angry, whatever it may be. But just by continuing to just continue to live, do stuff that makes you happy internally, do stuff that's going to make you feel good, whether that's going to the gym, going for a walk, just step outside, read a book, talk to somebody. I guarantee you, if you did that, you would be fine. Obviously, for some people, it might take longer than others. But if you just do what you need to do, you continue to, do stuff that makes you happy, whether that's, eating good food, going for a walk, going to the gym, talking to somebody. You don't need pills or whatever they prescribe to you to make you feel better. Honestly, like that's just honestly how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, I would have to agree. I mean, I think depression can definitely be cured naturally and you don't have to go down the medication route. I mean, at the end of the day, depression's a real thing. Let's not act like it's not real, right?
Of course.
It's a chemical imbalance in your brain and it's totally real. So we're not disregarding depression. We're not saying it's fake by saying you can cure it naturally. By saying you can cure it naturally, we genuinely believe that because let's say, you're drinking every weekend, chasing lust, addicted to cheap thrills, cheap dopamine, you're gambling, you're doom scrolling every single day, you're not going out, you're staying in bed all day long, you're not motivated, 100% that's going to cause depression, you know what I mean, for most people. And in order to get rid of that depression, Morgan made an amazing point, doing these things like working on your health and fitness, focusing on practicing delayed gratification instead of doom scrolling, maybe reading a book and learning something. Instead of chasing lust, maybe building a relationship, whether it's with your friends, with a significant other, or with your family, just strengthening these relationships and talking to them about how you feel, right? Like life, there's no doubt, life is very stressful, life is very hard.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to get away from the hard and stressful life by chasing cheap thrills, it's only gonna make it worse. So if you can truly master your mind and practice delayed gratification on a daily basis, that 100% will help you feel better, and it can definitely cure depression, I would say. And I mean, one thing that I'll say right now, because I come from a health and fitness background, if you're depressed and you're out of shape, you're fat, there's probably a direct correlation between those two, right? And me personally, I can't comprehend people that don't work out or don't prioritize their health and fitness, because it's such an important point. It's such an important part in my life that people that don't do it, I can't comprehend, I don't understand them. And that's why it's so important to preach what I preach online and preach what we preach in this podcast, to go out, get healthy, get fit, and find your purpose, right? And a big part of my purpose is inspiring and motivating people online. So just filming this podcast, it gives you fulfillment. Posting videos online and spreading your message, it gives you fulfillment. Starting that business and making a success out of yourself, that all gives you fulfillment as a man. And those are things that can help cure depression, I would say.
Yeah. And I completely agree with you guys. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know if medicine can cure depression, or like, I don't know if depression can be cured naturally or if medicine can cure depression, because I've never been in a situation where I've had to take medicine to cure depression. So I genuinely don't know from personal experience, but I don't know the severity of other people's depression and stuff like that. But I know one thing that's made me happier in my life, because I've gone through sad times. I bet we've all gone through sad times in our lives. Maybe not like fully depressed, but we've been down sometimes and stuff like that. And I think just doing things to give me purpose, like working on my business, working out in the gym, just like how these guys all said, it's brought me happiness. And it's kind of fixed my mood and made me less sad. So I think there's ways to improve depression without medicine, but I don't genuinely know the severity of everybody's circumstance and how bad it is for people that where they need medicine. I don't know for sure, but I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, no, for sure, like no doubt. But I saw this too, actually. Like being fit, being just active in general, it literally lowers depression in people. Like it's literally like doctors. I don't know about this.
I mean, that's a fact.
Yeah, I was gonna say like doctors tell you to get active, but I don't know if that's true or not. But it is a fact that being fit literally lowers depression.
You know what? Like every doctor should tell you to get active.
Should tell you, like,
if you're obese and the doctor's saying it's okay, let me just give you this Ozempic.
Yeah,
that's not solving the root of the problem. Like, of course, Ozempic's a great drug and it's amazing and it's helping a bunch of people get healthy. But what's even better is preaching a healthy and active lifestyle, right? So you don't need medication. The goal, I'd say, for curing most problems, such as depression, obesity, is preaching something that will help you in the long term, instead of pushing a medication that will only help you in the short term. Mm-hmm. But of course, I think, you shouldn't feel bad about taking medication for your problems, right? Whether you're taking Ozempic to lose weight, whether you're taking pills to cure your depression, it's totally fine.
Yeah, no, medicine's not a bad thing at all.
Medicine's a great thing, right? But I think the point that we're trying to get at is they should also preach to you ways that can help you become happier in the long run, instead of just putting a quick Band-Aid on it to fix it, right? Because if you could do it naturally, I feel like most people would want to cure it naturally rather than going down the medication route. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like I said, we've never had to deal with these issues, but what are we going to do? Not talk about these problems? We're talking about men's mental health, and we want to spread awareness as young men ourselves, and we feel like most young men aren't talking about these issues. Yeah. So we're just giving our opinions at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know?
At the end of the day, we're not fully educated because we've never gone through a personal experience. But we're just saying how we can deal with it ourselves.
Yeah. If we can help one person, that's all that matters, I'd say. And that's really our goal here, to help inspire and motivate other people.
For sure, no doubt.
Yeah, cool.
Wait, real quick though, I
yeah.
just want to say, like we're not saying like medicine's a bad thing. Obviously, we're not saying that. Like whatever works for you. But the one thing I will say with the pills, for example, Ozempic, right? Like if you're obese, you probably have like a unhealthy relationship with eating, right? Let's just assume that. So if you take Ozempic to lose weight, I feel like you're not destroying the habit of eating. Sure, you might lose the weight, but that habit is still there, right? If you actually take the natural route and you eat healthy, you go to the gym, you take that route, you'll destroy or get rid of that habit of eating unhealthy food or binge eating in general.
Yeah, because the habit's the root
The
cause
habit's
at
the
the
root
end of the
cause,
day,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, like,
I mean, yeah, I agree. Like, you really want to attack the root of the problem, ideally. But you know what? At the end of the day, for most people, medication's probably the best way to go.
Yeah.
Because
For sure,
the
yeah.
reason they have these issues is because they can't solve the root of the problem. So that's why they go down the medication route. So yeah, if you're taking medication, there's absolutely no shame. I guess we're just trying to give suggestions on how to maybe cure your issues naturally.
For sure,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
Agreed.
medicine can definitely help. Like, it definitely improves the health for sure. And that's probably why people take Ozempic in the first place, because they just need to like cure the health problem, right? And then they can kind of go from there.
Yeah.
But I'm not very educated on it.
Yeah, I think Ozempic's
so-
actually like an amazing drug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like taking it can literally cure obesity, which is like kind of amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because, you know, let's call a spade here. If you're obese, you're not healthy. If you're not healthy, you know, it can cause you to literally die prematurely. So I think Ozempic's an amazing drug that probably saved a bunch of people's lives.
For sure. Yeah. They were suffering from health issues that stem from obesity. And yeah, just probably greatly improves everybody's health who's taking it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyways, let's move on to the next question here.
Is it me?
I think it is you, Mo.
The what's one thing?
Yeah. That's you.
All right. What's one thing you guys do to help with your mental health? What's one thing you do to, help you feel a bit more uplifted?
Yeah.
I can start with this if you want.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I think honestly just doing things that give me purpose, things that make me happy, things that make me feel good at the end of the day, going to the gym, working on my business, like I mentioned in the previous question. And yeah, and just all the socializing with my friends, having my downtime, having my alone time with myself so I can reflect. And then, yeah, socializing with my friends, having fun with my friends, going out to eat, and just enjoying life at the end of the day. That's what brings me happiness and helps me feel less depression at the end of the day.
For sure, yeah. I mean, also, too, for me, it's super simple, super easy to answer this. Obviously, just do things that are going to better you, do things that are going to make you feel good, working out, eating healthy, going to the gym, seeing my friends, spend time with family, my girlfriend, whatever it may be, right? As long as I'm improving and I feel good about myself, my mental health should be lower. And, when I go through those bad seasons, I'm just going to continue to do all those things. I'll naturally just become back to where I was and feel better again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally agree with both you guys. Chasing a purpose, taking care of yourself, those are all things that can immediately boost your mood. For me, I spoke about this. The biggest thing that I do that on a daily basis that improves my mental health is straight up prioritizing my health and fitness. For me, getting a good workout in alone late at night, that's my therapy. And I never feel worse after a workout. I always feel better, whether it's going for a run or just getting a nice workout in the gym. The endorphins that hit my body is better than any cheap dopamine thrill I can ever achieve. So I think, yeah, the best way for me to get away from my problems and just go into a therapeutic, mindful state is just getting a nice workout in and reflecting on my issues and relieving my stress through the weights. That's what I'd say.
For sure.
Yeah. Pretty
Nice.
easy to answer that one.
Cool. Let's move on to the next question.
Yeah.
That was something that we didn't really have to elaborate on too much. I'll go ahead and ask this next question.
But
This is revolving around the toxic community on social media. Being on social media, how do you deal with all the hate? This is something that's quite relevant to us right now because, believe it or not, we've actually been getting a lot of hate on our podcast, which, we can't comprehend. We don't understand because at the end of the day, we're just young men trying to improve ourselves and improve other people's lives as well. But social media is a very toxic community, and we've been waking up every single morning to new hate comments. We've heard the comments like, bro, let's start a podcast pretty much every single day. It's getting a little tiring.
Podcast should be illegal. Like,
Yeah, podcasts should be illegal. They should put a tariff on podcast equipment.
Raise money on podcast equipment. We've heard it all. It's the same shit every time.
I mean, it's all funny. It's all funny. At the end of the day, we're just trying to better ourselves and maybe help one person out there as well. And
like, how do you deal with that hate?
yeah, we're just young men chasing a dream. We're a brotherhood trying to build something together. How do we deal with the hate that we're getting every single morning? I think sometimes you have to just read the hate comments and just laugh at them, because the one thing that I truly believe is hatred never comes from above, and it's seriously a true thing. Because, you know, we're getting a ton of comments, ban podcast equipment, make podcast equipment more expensive. And none of these people actually have their faces on their profile. They're all accounts with no profile photos. And it really just shows the insecurity that person must have, because they're too scared to show themselves on social media. It must mean that they're not happy with themselves, because someone that's truly happy with themselves, maybe they have a nice girlfriend, maybe they have a good physique, they're going to post themselves online. Because when I was that kid, when I was that little short chubby kid that was playing video games, addicted to porn, I wasn't posting videos of myself online. I wasn't posting photos of my shit physique online. And that must be the same issue for these other people. Because I remember when I was that chubby kid in middle school, I was commenting on people's posts with hatred as well. So I think it's rooted from insecurity and envy. And at the end of the day, I'm sure most people that comment hate on our videos wishes they could do what we could do, right? They wish that they can create something bigger than themselves. But, you know, the harsh reality is the people that don't take the steps to get out of their comfort zone will live a normal average life. So it's unfortunate, but not everyone can win. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. And honestly, I think I expected we were going to get some hate, but I didn't realize that we'd be getting like a lot of hate. But at the end of the day, I don't really take hate comments to heart at all, because I could personally never see myself hating on three men trying to build something. And yeah, I don't even really care about the hate, to be honest. I see it, and honestly, they're hating. It probably means we're doing something right, because we're showing up on their For You page. So honestly, I don't mind the hate, but I was just kind of surprised at the amount of hate we were getting just for people trying, because I could never see myself hating personally. But what do you guys think?
Honestly, I mean, when I see the hate, I just laugh. But at the end of the day, like, if you're gonna hate on somebody's post, I don't care what it is. Like, I honestly feel bad for you. Like, if you have to put someone else down and feel better, like, I genuinely feel bad. Like, you're sitting there on your phone, you're hiding your profile, you're hiding your face, your image, and you're hating on somebody else. Like, it's funny to us. Like, the comments are literally funny. Like, we're not fazed at all. But I just feel bad for you. Like, I just hope, you know, you figure your life out, you know. Just figure yourself out, because, like, if you're hating, like, come on, like, I don't know, like, it's such a bad look. Like, I've never been someone to hate on someone's post. I don't know, like,
Bro, I just
know if you're hating, like, there's something in your life you're not happy about. So I hope that you genuinely figure that out, you know? We're just three guys trying
to make a podcast.
And you're hating, like, there's clearly something wrong there.
Yeah,
honestly,
I think hatred is like genuinely probably the ugliest character trait that you can have.
Yeah.
Because it just shows the deep down rooted insecurity that you have as a person.
Yeah.
You know, you're just projecting onto other people. And it's unfortunate, because obviously not everyone is comfortable enough to put themselves out there on social media like we are. And I bet you there's so many people that, you know, put themselves out there, they get hate and they fold under that pressure. Us, we're past that point. We're comfortable with ourselves as men. So, you know, we just look at the hate, we laugh, we use the hate as fuel. And me personally, I just use the hate as another person to prove wrong. So, you know, when you guys see me everywhere very soon, you guys are going to be jumping on the bandwagon. You know, it's unfortunate that you hated, because soon I'll be at the top and you can't do anything about it at the end of the day.
I'm going to look like a fool at the end of the day.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, I just think, I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say, but
You just got to feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Just got to feel bad.
You got to get pissed off. You got to use it as fuel.
I don't know.
If you're someone that's taking the hate to heart, clearly you also have an insecurity in yourself. If you believe what the haters are saying, then clearly you have your own internal issues. And it's okay to have those issues, right? Like everyone has issues. We all have internal issues as well. Just not stemmed around being uncomfortable with putting ourselves out there, right?
Yeah.
Like we read the hate comments and we disregard them. We laugh at them. We get pissed off. We use them as fuel. Because at the end of the day, if we believed all the hate comments, we'd listen to them and we wouldn't be filming right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just think like I feel bad for people to get hated on because like I know how it feels now, and I just feel bad that that's the reason that people quit. Because like I think it's just like it comes from such a low point, and people like give up on their ambitions just because of the hate, and that just makes me feel really bad it just makes me feel really bad at the end of the day. I just can't imagine like going on my phone and typing out like quotations, "Let's start a podcast." Like I cannot imagine typing that out on my phone.
Yeah,
man.
you know what? Like at the end of the day, I mean, my mindset is I got that fuck it, we ball mindset. I could give a fuck less what any hater says.
I don't give a shit about the haters.
I'm gonna keep
It's
applying
just-
the pressure at the end of the day. These haters commenting with no profile photos, no pictures of themselves. At the end of the day, I'm a young, healthy, fit, handsome man that's putting myself out there. I'm successful. I'm making money every single day. Me personally, I got no issues going on. That's all I'll say.
At the end of the day, haters, you're boosting the algorithm.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
At the end
We'll
of the day,
take that algo boost. I'll say that.
To all the haters, thanks for watching. That's all I'm gonna say.
Anyways, let's move on to the next question. You know, we're running a little low on time here. We still got a few more questions left, so we'll make these more rapid fire.
Okay, I got the next one, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we already answered this. I think we can probably skip this, but why do you think most people spread hate on the internet?
Yeah, I mean, we totally answered that in the last question.
Yeah.
But another reason why I think a lot of people hate on the internet is because at the end of the day, there's a lot of guys out there that just haven't had their ass whooped. You know what I mean? And
real.
I think there's a lot of guys commenting these hate comments that they've clearly never had their ass whooped in their lives. So that's why they're hiding behind a screen and posting hateful comments towards, you know, at the end of the day, just young men chasing their dream, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of men need to get their ass whooped at least once in their life. They need to get humbled, and that's why they're hiding behind screens, commenting things that they would never say to people's faces in real life. And it's a weak trait, and it just shows that you're a weak person. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm standing by that. I don't even have anything to say for that.
Me too. I mean, the same people that will hate on your comments are the same people that will respect you in person. So
Yeah, and I'll say this too. I'll put this out there because I would love for this to happen. If there's any hater out there that hates on our podcast and seriously has an issue with us, if we want to set up like a organized fight or something, I would love to throw hands. You know what I mean?
Send us a DM.
Because if you've never had your ass whooped and you're hiding behind a screen commenting things, send us a DM. I can teach you a lesson, seriously. So I'd love to do that.
Yeah, I want to say something too. Like, if you're a hater and I see you in person, please hate in person.
Yeah,
Like,
just keep
I
that
would love
same
to
energy,
hear it.
bro.
I would love to hear it in person. I think that's just something I've never experienced it before. I would love for someone to hate in person.
And I
but-
mean,
yeah.
violence is not the answer, but if you start coming disrespectful to a man to his face, like that's how you get slapped in the face. You know what I mean? So
Facts.
I'll leave it at that. Short and simple. I think we got the point across.
For sure.
Yeah. So
All
let's
right.
move on to this next question. I think I got this next question. Do you ever feel like you're behind in life compared to other people your age? You guys ever feel stressed that you're behind?
I do for sure. And I think it's the root cause, like we mentioned earlier, social media. I've been seeing so much stuff on social media about like living like the high life, the big businesses, the supercars and all that. And people who are my age or even younger achieving all this. And that honestly makes me feel behind. Like that really does make me feel behind. I don't know if that makes you guys feel behind too, but
Yeah, I mean, I just want to make an example because in this generation, you know, with inflation and everything that's going on, it's kind of hard to get ahead, I'd say. And if you look at your parents, right? Like my dad he moved out at 18, he had his own car, he was starting his career, right? He had all these things going for himself. And in today's day and age, it's so much harder to get that kind of momentum going for yourself. So when I compare myself to how my parents grew up, it definitely makes me feel behind. But I feel like as far as comparing myself to other people my age in today's day and age, I would like to say I'm ahead, and I would like to say I have that good mindset and that good mentality that's going to get me to where I want to be. So I wouldn't compare myself behind compared to other people my age, but compared to my parents and how they made stuff happen quicker and sooner, I would say, yeah, I would agree. I would say I feel like I'm behind in that aspect.
Yeah. I also like to say, I like to personally think I'm behind because sorry, I completely forgot what I was going to say. Morgan, what do you have to say?
That's you'll remember in a sec.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, yeah, I do feel behind like that. But since we're on the mental health topic, I see myself as behind, but I don't see it as a bad thing. I think if you're gonna be behind, that's not a bad thing, but accept it and then think about what you're gonna do to get ahead then. Like if you're behind, don't just sit there and say, oh, I'm behind, like, oh, my life sucks, like it's over. Like if you're behind, what are you gonna do to get ahead? And that's exactly what we're doing with this podcast, right? You know, you're getting your name out there, posting on social media, you're working hard in the gym, whatever it may be. So I don't see being behind as a bad thing. And yes, I do see myself as behind in terms of the standards that are in our society today, but I don't see it as a bad thing. Like I'm like, okay, I'm ready to crush it then.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
So-
I was gonna say I like to think about myself behind because I never want to be content with myself. I always want to be striving for more, and I never want to lose that hunger too. I never want to be settled and happy with where I'm at because I constantly want to be improving in my life.
Yeah.
And I think never being content is a very important aspect that you should have as a young man for sure.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, if I'm comparing myself to other people our age, I would absolutely not say that I'm behind. I would actually say that I'm ahead. But if I'm comparing myself to the standard that I have for myself, 100% I would say I'm behind. I have very high expectations for myself, and I know what I'm capable of. So in this aspect, I would say, yes, I'm behind to my standard, but compared to every other people, all the people around us, I wouldn't say I'm behind. But you know, at the end of the day, I think it's not good to compare yourself to other people, because if I'm comparing myself to people that are going out drinking every weekend, chasing lust, then I'm only putting myself on their level, right? So I only compare myself to the old version of myself, and as long as I'm improving every single day, that's all that matters.
Because, yeah, I mean, happiness is a thief of joy. So, I mean, yeah, if you're going to compare yourself to your older self, that's perfect because that's you, right? But, I mean, that's a good point, too. Like, if you compare us to, like, the average guys, like, our age, like, yeah, we're ahead. But the thing is, we don't want to be like them, right? So I'm not going to compare myself to those people.
Exactly.
You know?
I don't even picture those guys
Yeah.
when I'm comparing myself to.
You just got to think of who's ahead of you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
That's
yeah.
why I just never try to stay content.
There's a
Yeah.
quote, and it's like, you will slowly become who you compare yourself most to. So if you're comparing yourself to people that drink every single weekend, that are doom scrolling, you're going to then fall to that standard. But if you're comparing yourself to people that are doing better than you, then it's only going to cause you to make those improvements in your life. Like, I do it all the time. Me, I'm on social media. I'm trying to grow on social media. I post every single day. And I'm constantly comparing myself to accounts that have more followers than me, guys that have better editing than me, guys that can speak in front of a camera better than me. Because the way I look at it is that I'm eventually going to get there and pass them. But for right now, if I'm just comparing myself to, you know, people that are just starting out on social media and don't know what they're doing, then I'm going to fall to their standard as well. Yeah.
For sure.
Anyways, guys, you guys want to move on to the next question?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Morgan, you have a question, don't you?
No, I was actually on that one. You read it. So,
Okay, nice.
yeah, just to finish the last one.
Yeah, we got two more actually.
Okay.
We're at an hour, 5 minutes right now, so we'll try to make these last two quick. Don't really want to go over an hour and 15.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up quick.
But yeah, we'll keep it natural. Question number 10. What's one thing in your life that you're too hard on yourself about? What do you guys think that thing is?
It actually plays a good role after the last question we had. It goes well, but I just got to think about it for a minute.
You guys hard on yourself? And if so, what's one thing that you feel like you're too harsh on yourself about? If you guys want, I'll go ahead start. For me, this has always been something that I've been hard on myself about. And I think being hard on yourself is not necessarily a bad thing. I think it can help you improve in these areas. However, you know, this episode is about men's mental health. So, I mean, being hard on yourself is something that many men face on a daily basis, and it, you know, really affects men mentally. So one thing that I'm hard on myself about is definitely my health and fitness. If I'm not going to the gym, I'm skipping my workouts, I lose a little bit of myself. If I'm slacking off on my diet, eating fast food every single day, I start feeling bad about myself. If I gain some weight, I feel horrible about myself, you know? I really put a lot of value on the way that I look and the way that I feel. And if I'm slacking off, eating junk food every day, not hitting my workouts, not only do I start looking worse, but I start feeling worse as well. And that's something that I've always dealt with, and I've always been very hard on myself about that, which I don't think necessarily is a bad thing. But I think I've actually allowed myself to have a little bit more flexibility recently, allowing myself to have these cheat days to take a little break from all the hardcore dieting and lifting. But yeah, I'm definitely hard on myself about the health and fitness. What about you guys?
Yeah, I have mine. I just thought of it. Like, for example, for me, I'm very hard on myself with working. If I'm not working every single day, I feel very unfulfilled, and I just feel like I'm wasting a lot of time. Like, I have a real life example for this. The other day, like, I just finished a long day of work the day before. The next day I said, okay, I'm going to chill for a bit. I'm going to throw on this movie that I've been wanting to watch. And the entire movie, I couldn't stop picking up my phone and working. Like, there was just people texting me, and I was just constantly responding. I just could not sit still, and watch the movie. My mind's just constantly going. I think it's also because I'm very passionate about it, and I'm very money motivated. Like, I never want to miss an opportunity. So I'm constantly on top of it, trying to keep up with it. But I think I'm very hard on myself when it comes to work, but I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing. I think I see it as definitely something that can improve me for sure.
Yo, which movie was it?
I was trying to watch that Frankenstein movie on Netflix.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
I heard it was good, so I'm like I heard.
Is
a lot
that
of
like
stuff
a
on TikTok.
live action Frankenstein?
I don't know what it I can't even remember what it was because I didn't even watch it. To be honest, I put it on. It was in the background. I was on my phone the entire time, working.
Yeah.
But
Damn.
yeah, I was trying to watch it, but I couldn't.
Honestly, I'm the same as both of you guys. I feel like I'm hard on myself on everything, though. Everything. Always, I'm always hard on myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'll always mentally shit talk myself, but in a positive way. But for me, yeah, for sure, work, money motivating. In the summertime when I'm working, I'm out in school. I literally have a shift 7 days a week. My schedule will be 60 hours, and I don't even think it's enough sometimes. And then everyone around me yo, take a day off. I'm nah, I can't. And then with the gym too, bro, I hate skipping a day. When I can't go to the gym on a certain day, I'm pissed. I'm fuck. Why can't I go to the gym?
Makes me pissed.
Yeah,
too.
I'm annoyed. And
I'm the same way with work
Yeah,
too. If I
exactly.
can't work a day, if it's shit weather, I'm damn.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
pissed.
whatever you're obsessed with, you're gonna be automatically more hard on yourself about that area. And I've always been obsessed with the gym, health and fitness. When I was 16 years old, I started working out. Immediately, I was addicted. Immediately, I was obsessed. And when I would get in trouble in school or something in high school, my mom would literally say to me, Nate, you're not going to the gym. You're not allowed to go to the gym. And it would just make me so pissed because that's the thing that I'm most passionate about in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And-
I'll always make time for the gym too. If I know I have a busy day, sometimes I remember when I was at Lori, I'd wake up at 5 a.m. I'm the first guy in the gym. If I know the rest of my day is busy, I have to make time to go,
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm running, it's about to close. I'm running in the gym. That's just how
You gotta get it in, bro.
Gotta
You gotta
get it in,
Yeah.
It's just how it is. I don't know.
I recently picked up that habit too. I recently fell in love with health and fitness too. And I work out every single night before bed because that's the one time of the day where I know I have free time. So every single time before I go to bed at night, I'll do a full workout. And I haven't honestly missed a day in the past 2 months, which I'm very happy about. And if I miss a day, my next day, I'm going to be pissed off the entire day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool, guys. Let's move on to the last question here because we're running a little
Yeah,
late
let's
on
do it.
time. So we'll make this one a little bit quicker. But what's the cost? What is the mental cost for settling for less? I'll go ahead and answer this first. I think the mental cost for settling for less in your life is literally everything. If you're living a life that you don't want to live, what's the point of even living? So if you're living a life just because, these things are normalized, you're going to go out drink, you're going to chase a career that you don't want to work, you're literally costing everything and you're wasting the one life that you have. That's why it is so important to go after whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's starting that business, starting that podcast, traveling to those places. You only have one life.
Yeah.
So if you're settling for
Exactly,
less
bro.
as a person, you're costing everything. You're wasting everything. So if you're listening to this, use this as a wake-up call. Don't settle for less in your life. Don't settle for bad relationships. Don't settle for complacency. Don't settle for a bad physique. Always chase more because when you die and you're on your deathbed, you're going to regret not doing these things that you wanted to do. You're going to regret not taking that risk. That's all I'll say. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, honestly, not much more to say. That's 100% agreeable. I think you only live once. You have to make the most out of your life. Why not achieve the things that you want to achieve and do the things that you want to do?
Can you read me the question one more time?
Yeah. What's the mental cost for settling for less?
Yeah, for sure. So honestly, there's not much more to say. Like the mental cost of not chasing or doing what you want to do in life is literally like everything, like you said. Like you're gonna be left like mentally like bankrupt. Like every single day you're not doing what you want to do, it's gonna eat you alive. So if you're watching this and you know, or even you guys, if there's something like you're procrastinating to do or work on, like literally just do it. Because if you don't do it, if you don't chase, you know, that social media success, that business success, that fitness success, if you don't achieve that, it's gonna eat you every single day till you die. Like I should have done it. I should have done it. Like if you don't chase what you want, start today. Like turn off the podcast and just start, because it's literally gonna eat you alive. Like it's gonna kill you.
You know what I heard? I heard this before, and this can't be more true. And this really lit a fire under my ass. Hell is laying on your deathbed and seeing the person that you should have became. If you live a life of complacency, you live a life settling for less, you're going to be on your deathbed in that hell. You're going to be thinking about all the times you had the opportunities to take risks and you didn't take them. And it speaks for itself. If you're young, you only have one life. You know, we all only have one life. You only live once. Live life the way that you want to live.
Period.
Exactly, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we can go ahead and wrap this up now.
Yeah. But I just want to say one more thing before we close it out. So before this podcast, we were talking about the social media thing, right? Like how I want to be more consistent on social media, and that if I started so much longer ago, where I could have been by now. And I just want to timestamp this on this episode. I will post on social media on my personal account every single day till the end of the year, starting today.
Oh, I love that.
I just want to lock that in.
I love that. You guys all want to lock in on this?
Honestly, lock it in.
I'm locked.
Let's lock it in. Let's go. So all three of us, every single day, posting on social media until the end of 2025.
That is something I want so bad. I'm gonna do it. I don't care.
There's a little less than 50 days in 2025.
I'm in.
We can 100% do it. So yeah, I'm proud that you made that commitment to yourself, because I know you're gonna do it. You know, it's out there on the internet. So that's awesome. Good for you, man. I'm excited to see what kind of content you come up with.
I'm excited to do it.
Yeah, but anyways, guys, this is one of the longer episodes, which I think is a good thing, because it's so important to talk about mental health, especially men's mental health. It's relative to the times, because November is Men's Mental Health Month. And before we fully wrap this up, I just want to leave you guys with a little verse from the Bible that relates to men's mental health. Romans 8:18. The pain you're feeling can't compare to the joy that's coming. What does this mean to me? It means that whatever you're going through right now, whatever issues you have in your life, you know, you could think the world is caving in on you. The pain that you're feeling right now cannot compare to the joy that's coming. There's always better days ahead. Life goes on. You must keep living. Do not fold. Do not give up. Never give up. If you're having depression or mental health issues in your life, don't be afraid to talk to someone. Even if anyone watching this video is having issues and you guys want to reach out to us, 100% we'll be willing to have a conversation with you guys.
For sure, yeah.
And help you guys out, because nobody should really be feeling this way. But anyways, guys, that was episode 7 of the Elevation Room podcast on men's mental health. This is just a reminder that you should prioritize your mental health, and men's mental health is not a joke. It's a serious thing, and there should be more conversations about men's mental health. If this was your first time tuning into the Elevation Room, we want to thank you guys so much. Our last episode was actually the highest amount of numbers we've done in an episode, so we're happy that our hard work is slowly starting to pay off. And we haven't even started yet. It's only episode 7. We're going to keep grinding, keep showing up every single week. So with that being said, that was episode 7 of the Elevation Room. We will see you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.